and a team of Recon 5 that I don't really know a lot about. I've seen rap before, but other than that, all these players fairly new. Like Justin, I've seen, and Koala Noob is actually cracked. But like beyond that, I'm like, cool. Let's find out how this goes.
Yeah, I'm looking pretty forward to it. I mean, when we talk about both these teams, I mean, they've been playing in, some of the other tournaments like, NSG Summer Champs, as
Mhm.
well as First Strike and things like that. So on the way, I would probably say, in my opinion, is the slightest advantage when we talk about like chemistry, things like that. But I mean, you don't really know what to predict here. Like you said, Koala Noob, the guy's cracked. The guy's just like a whole other level. So I mean, definitely one of those players to watch here, especially on a map like Bind. And we don't see a lot of Bind here at the VSS, especially in best of ones. But I'm looking very forward to this because I mean, Vine just brings up so many good varieties of big plays that can happen, and it's a lot of close quarters as compared to like Ascent and things like that too.
Yeah, it's always interesting. I think Bind is one of my favorite maps to watch, just because I find there's just such variety of strategy that can come out, and I really love the look that On the Way is putting on at the moment. Like this heavy like look with the high utility with Astra, Sage, and of course the Sky is really interesting. And of course Koala Noob on the Jet, exactly what you would expect. Just let Koala Noob jet wherever they want to be, because that's a winning strategy most of the time. Whereas the other side of things, it's more standard with a Sky coming out instead of maybe what you would see is normally that jet. So I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. I mean, seeing Sky on the server is really good because we're seeing a lot of what she can bring to the table. And even having the Sage, of course, just makes the biggest difference. Just having, like we were going to see, I mean, the Sage wall that does come in blocks off Hookah, just kind of eliminating a lot of, options for the attackers. But already now, I mean, we can see on the way, they are starting on the attacking side, like we mentioned, but they are getting a little bit of control, but it is going to be Bang. He's actually going to get taken down. Rep able to find him early on, and now Justin, he's going to have to come up big because he's by himself. He's going for these duels. He's able to find the one. He gets away with it, and now things are a little bit interesting, but on the way, they made their destination at this A site.
They have indeed. As the spike goes down, still 4-on-4 though, realistically, so looks pretty solid. Getting that forward position are the defenders as they push forward. As they turn the corner, that's the key. And Koala Noob good on that trade from Rap, but T-Dog is there and has a guiding light prepped and ready. The turn is good from Giza and does find a frag with the right click, but it still leaves one player alive. That's Brock, who connects the shot onto one, but then taps the spike and looks for more. 125 health there for Jabin, and all he needs to do is connect one or two. Right click would be good enough, and there it is. Don't need the right click, just the tap to the head of Brock as Jabin clutches out for Recon 5.
A big play from Jabin. I mean, we were talking, a little bit about, when you get those plays and just making the impact, not necessarily just going for the frags, but there you could see he was gambling it. He didn't actually go for the wide swing. And Brock, he was just tapping the spike, teasing that he might be on it, might not. And that's a tough position to be in. A lot of gambling that comes on through, but it looks like it works out very well for Jabin. He pretty much reads it very well and picks up the frag. And now Recon 5 going to be down. And they're just going to be on the light purchase, whereas now on the way, they have the SMGs ready to go. So they need to be very careful, though. They need to be able to put these weapons into good angles so that they can get the better advantage and not get so close to the pistols.
That would be the ideal scenario for sure. But, you know what? It's easier said than done, I have to say. We get down to it. These pistols can be deadly. And Brock looking to do just that as... we do find Recon 5 picking up an ult orb, and Brock gonna have to contend with that paint shell, and does big damage. Takes off any shields that were there and puts him down to 61 HP. Still 5 players alive for both sides, but not for long. As Verdi does beautiful work finding that kill, and Giza could pick up something there. In fact, yeah, finally taken down, and Rap gets in on the action in addition. So 2 players alive here versus 5 on the way. They're in trouble.
Yeah, at this moment, I mean, Recon 5, if they can pick up a weapon, maybe pick up a frag, this can be good. But Rep is going to have one more rep bigger than Bang. And now, I mean, it is just down to Justin. At this point, if he can, like we said, if he can pick up a frag, maybe take down a gun or two, that could be really big. But shot's going to be missed. And Rep, that's going to be a triple. on the way. They pick it up in a flawless round, pretty much full ease. Recon 5 should have the money in Flourish and that they can get their rifles, a little bit of light armor that's going to be there with no frags really being distributed across the team. But nonetheless, it's a good opportunity for them to pull something big. And this is a kind of an important round because really, Recon 5, they are on that bonus, so they're still on the SMGs, the Spectres, things like that. If they pull this round through, not only does it grow the money situation, it also gets them free weapons too.
That it does. That it does. As I think that realistically, we want to see this round go the way of Recon 5 if they can, but it's so very difficult, right? The push comes out there from the Trailblazer, gets a bit of information before being destroyed, but ultimately not ideal. The Seekers now committed, and they go out. The nicely placed gravity well stops that push where it's sitting. The Verdi and T-Dog do well to find 2 kills. They open the site and look for the plant as the retake got to come in.
Spike's gonna get planted now, on the way. A little bit backs against the boards, but he's gonna be able to find the one. So now Koala Noob gonna be able to get himself out of the tower. So they got into the site, 3-and-3 situation. And you can just see they're playing lamps. They're just really hugging this, and this is a strong position to be in. Time is completely ticking for them, and both players going to go for the swing. Rep's going to be able to spam on through, gets the one with a nice trade in from Evil. So now it's all just down to 1, but that's going to be Recon 5. They pick it up, and they now have been able to get rewarded for new weapons, and money just keeps on growing, baby.
Yeah, I mean, that's where the cash flow starts to really increase itself. You win that bonus round, right? You didn't have to invest fully in off the back of it. And in fact, you've forced your opponents onto the eco, just sheriffs and a classic available. Walanoo, the sole player, is saving a bit more, as more than likely wants to get an operator out here. Understandable. Is certainly deadly with that weapon, and I would say if you are on a team with Walanoo, you should put that gun in his hand as often as you can. So, Evol, looking for some information, has found one player over there in the U-Haul. This is Bang, who's trying to do a little bit more, but doesn't connect shots. Oh my goodness, what a difficult thing to contend with. Is just a flying player coming at you and just murdering you. That's so very hard.
It's pretty terrifying. It's one of those things that just catches you off guard, and you just like, how do you react to it, right?
You're like,
and that's what we're noticing. It's just, yeah, you're just like, oh my goodness, there's someone here. And even T-Dog, look at this. He just gets caught with the Trailblazer, but now he'll get himself a little bit of reply back. Bird's gonna be used, so that's the flash. But Evil coming up with the quad, looking to make the ace. No, but Brock able to take him down. But a good round that comes in from Recon 5. Really looking strong. Not a lot of issues so far from them. I mean, they're really not showing a lot of weakness here at all, Vin.
Yeah, and too bad on that denial, right? Brock getting that 1 kill. Poor Evil nearly had the ace, but realistically, I think that the problem right now is this has been very one-dimensional from On the Way. Like, what are they doing? What are they doing to change things up? They're playing very passive. They're not giving anything away. They're basically just giving up sites for free, waiting for the retake. Like, all those things are not bad alone, but together they are a bit problematic. We are seeing some aggression this time, both in hookah and over towards long, where Walanoo is sitting with the operator. A forward position there by Verdi, but Giza seems to maybe have an idea as the Hunter's Fury looks to try and deny this area, but lining him up, knocking him down is Giza. Beautiful. Getting aggressive, knew that they had to do something between a rock and a hard place, and gives their team a 3v5.
A huge play from Giza, just able to lock things down, even though he's caught completely with a guiding light. Still able to get a double frag. That is absolutely huge. So now Recon 5 down by 3 players. They now need to find a mistake. They need to see somebody on the way playing these one-on-one exchanges. But right now, all they have to do is just play back. They don't need to be over-aggressive. They can now pull things back, anchor the sights a little bit more. Good timing on the cyber cage, able to just stay inside of it. You can even see it looks like a little hesitation here from Recon 5. They're in a tight position. They have 2 players on short, with one being in washrooms, but they have to find this opening duel. But it is going to be Justin actually comes up big with 1, and that's all he's going to find. Giza able to make a 3-piece, and now Rep by himself on a 1-on-3.
Yeah, Giza finding those opening 2 and then closing down any sort of potential follow-up. Caught on the open is Bang, but Walanoo on the second shot does connect. So a res there onto Justin as well, just to keep the economy rolling, is certainly not unwelcome. So with a pretty significant amount of cash, though, I don't think it's going to be a problem. And indeed, it is not a problem in the slightest for the Recon 5. They've got plenty of cash. And in fact, they probably are okay for maybe even another round, depending on how it goes.
It really does depend. I mean, if they can get the spike down, they can pick up some frags. I mean, that just adds more fuel to the fire. So on the way, though, they put themselves on the board. And I mean, hats off, like we said, Giza was able to, just be that difference maker, gets that opening duel, which really just kind of turned things around, give them that momentum, what they much needed. Gravity well going to be used inside of Washington, so making it very difficult here. Even the Trailblazer actually just, again, just pushing these defenders back. So it allows Recon 5 to get more control.
Well, and note the interaction there over at that orbit A, right? The showers one. So there was a gravity well there, and on top of that, we saw Bang throw a paint shell over that way to deny that area of effect. Then forcing it back, the Trailblazer comes out as well as two guiding lights. So much utility being forced into that one position is actually very interesting. Giza, though, up here, what a crazy spot. Birdie is going to come out with the potential on that showstopper, but doesn't end up connecting, and this cosmic divide might end up being a problem. It depends on how it goes, but with everybody locked out of the site, it's looking strong.
Oh, they're stuck in a funnel too. All of them are completely pinched in this B hull. So this is a tough situation, but Bang trying to get himself out of this situation. Justin able to pick up 2 now, so they're going to be able to mow them down. Rep, he has to come up big, but no, it's going to be Justin with 3 and on the way. Now they're on their way to making this closer to a tie game. Going to be able to pick up their second round with only 2 casualties.
Huge stuff there. And tying rounds together on this map in particular is not only tough, but crucial to pretty much putting ourselves in that, positive position moving into halftime, if you will. So realistically, this that round going about as good as it could have. Justin's retake potential right there is so very good. We saw the showstopper come out and it opened things up, and then Justin came in and basically just mopped the floor with the rest of the attackers and shut it down. Kuala Noom now looking for aggression, and well, he could find it.
We were talking about, Recon 5 having the money in the bank for another gun round, and this is what we see. I mean, they still have plenty of funds that they can make it work, but if they lose this round, this is where it starts getting a little bit shaky, but Birdie able to get one. Kuala Noom, look at that, he gets caught by the corner of the wall. He tries to dash out, but he gets punished for it. He's only able to get 1. So that's a good pickup here, Recon 5. They respond back very well. You can even see that Bang on the way squad. He is quite low. Brock by himself, guiding light used. It's going to be the Bang. Oh, Birdie, what are you doing? He's able to push himself inside the B tunnel, but the spike is down. But Brock, he's able to pick up another now, Vin. What on earth is going on?
Oh my goodness, those guiding lights are absolutely disgusting. Evil does take a lot of damage, but finds the kill anyway. Bang falls, so 2v1 now. Was 3 at one point, and shock darts in hand as well, but no HP, and that's the problem. Through the box is Brock for the frag. And yeah, I mean, Brock finding both those kills on site is just so incredible. Like, you should never, that should be a one and done position more than likely if you're Brock. And got lucky with the first, I would say, that the Rays got blinded, but then the second one was just, so pretty.
And I'm so surprised too. I'm not sure if Verdi was aware that he had the spike. I mean, the fact that he did, the double blast pack, tried to push over him, but he was stuck in B tunnel. Like, he put the spike in a good position for on the way. So I don't know if that was a bit of a misplay, or maybe there was some kind of a strat that I wasn't aware of. But I mean, like you said, the fact that Brock was able to make that not a one and done, but just actually able to pick up a 2, that's huge, especially with Sky. That's so much different than any other agent.
Yeah, exactly. Trailblazer goes out once again. Lots of spraying happening over there in that direction. And like you were talking about, yes, plenty of cash for that buy it last round, but this time, not so much. Just sheriffs in the hands of Recon 5 in this scenario. One Spectre is the only difference, but otherwise, it's sheriffs across the board. And Giza is once again in that cheeky little spot. It's kind of come down to who has the most interesting TikTok walls You know, if you're playing the stage, but you know, I like it. I think it's a lot of fun.
No, I do too. I think it's there's a lot of creativity that you can see with the stage walls and just like the different angles and the high ground positions you can get.
Ooh.
Ooh, T-Dog. The fact that he's able to push on through, take out Justin like that. Oh no, and Rep as well. Brock, he's able to fall. So I mean, on the wave, they've already lost 2 bodies. Koala Noob and his teammate completely revealed. Location completely given away. But now they have to land these duels, but Evil comes up big with another. It's a 2-2 all of a sudden though, Vin.
Yeah, Koala Noob finding that is so big, but oh no, Giza falling there for free is a huge problem. Koala Noob alone, but if he was one player you would expect is him. Rapto up close with the Vandal, not going to be expected, and Koala Noob falls as well. So Recon 5, after a couple of rounds, 3 in fact, they look a little bit shaky. They've returned, and off the back of a Thrifty as well.
Very well done round here. I mean, Koala Noob does have the operator back in hand once more. Definitely something he's known for, jetting an op. We'll have to see if he can again be that difference maker. We were talking about that earlier in top 32 game, where really having that op is a big investment, a lot of responsibility. Heard about that once on Spider-Man. We're gonna have to see if that's gonna be full flourishing here for Koala Noob.
Yeah, I hear it's a big deal in that franchise. Either way. We'll see what comes out to be an even bigger deal here. Owl Drone, Hawks, all of the utilities seem to be going out here at long, but realistically, only a bit of it being useful. The Seekers committed as well, but Brock is fine. Brock's not worried, not in the slightest, as 4 players push forward. Those Seekers not really being effective. Brock is get blinded by the Trailblazer, but it's really, again, a matter of time. And with 1 player disadvantage, this is just not ideal. So everybody has to teleport out. And I say has to. They don't have to. They do leave Evol there. I believe it was Evol. Yes. And oh, Giza has so much info. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is a good position. A lot of control. Oh, he just spots it. He hears it though, but he might be able to catch these players off guard. Gets the 1, gets the second. That comes up big. Now the spike's down. Perfect timing. Well, almost perfect, but it works out well for him. On the way, though, a 5-on-2 situation. Evil's going to be looking for another one, but Giza comes up with the triple now. It's all just down to 1 player. That's T-Dog by himself versus 5 players.
How Giza successfully played hide-and-go-seek there for like 30 seconds is, oh my goodness, so impressive. I love it. And Koala Noob closes down that round. It's, you know, slowly and surely on the way, getting straight back into this game as Recon 5. They've looked good, but not quite good enough.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing on the way getting, you know, a little bit of rhythm back, kind of getting the dust off. They're feeling better. 4-5. I mean, it was looking very dominant at one point. I mean, we were talking about a 4-0 for Recon 5 at one point, and all of a sudden now, on the way, have been able to kind of get a little bit of retaliation and only 1 round away from tying this thing back up. The money situation for Recon 5 is a little bit tight. They have 1 SMG, but they're able to still put quite a bit of firepower on their side. But, I mean, again, Brock, he's been a big nuisance for the squad.
Oh, rarely do you see that one. Showstopper coming through as Brock nearly gets taken out by it. Lives somehow. Looks kind of weird, but on the other side of things, that Hunter's Fury, oh, good find it. Rap with the double kill on the entry is making this look quite simple. Koala Noob now needs to make a play because the neural death came out, but Rap's good for a 3rd. So it's 1-on-1 now is Bang to try and find this one.
You do have the Showstopper available also, so Bang, he could make something come up big, but he actually pulls it out a bit too late, and Reppy's able to take him down, so they were allowing it to be burned, and that's a huge sacrifice for On the Way. I mean, a Showstopper can definitely make a lot of havoc and create some really good space, and the fact that Recon 5 were able to just kind of punish even the attempt of it. Now, I mean, that's looking big. I mean, Recon 5 put themselves at a 6th round here, Ben.
They do indeed. And this is a good position to kind of take it from, right? Like, you got 6, and your opponents are, you know, they have a bye, but it's going to be rough if they lose the next one. Koala Noob even having to pull out the Blade Storm in order to really get the full investment here. So Brock being so good in this position. Finally, they've learned, though. Jabin playing the anti-flash angle, and Giza finally gets away with one in this position up on top of the wall. Now has to play for her life, though, in that hookah, and loses the 1-for-1. But Giza does a great job of just finding two there, one long, one hookah, and then dying. So it's not unwinnable at this point now on the way.
They have their Blade Storm activated too, so that is going to be Koala Noob. T-Dog just waiting for things in middle, just trying to see if there's any big flank that's coming in from on the way. Bang actually gets a lot of control, but he doesn't push all the way through, but instead he's playing this a little bit more safe. Recon 5 do have their ultimate available for their Omen. I'm curious to think what they want to go for. I mean, they still have lots of time right now, Vin, but it looks like they want to put their attention towards Market, and Bang getting a little bit more adventurous, but he's going to get punished for it. So now Evil able to find him. Breathe Growth is going to be used from their Sky, and now they're going to full commit to this Koala Noob. He's close on by. He has to pop off. He has to find something, and you can see he's waiting, but he's going to get punished for it as well. T-Dog lands it on him.
All onto Justin now. 1v3. Guiding Light comes through, winding down Justin. Gets away with his life for just a moment, but the following Guiding Light, good again, but a little bit worse on the time where now it's a nice little pop there on the Nebula. Justin finds the first and dodges the paranoia somehow, tapping the spike once again, but the information's gained. The swing good, and wasn't prepped for T-Dog being right next to him. As Justin honestly does a great job of trying to win that 1v3, but it wasn't enough.
That was looking pretty scary, I'm not going to lie. A very good effort comes in from Justin. The way he was just able to isolate those players, you know, just having those one-on-one duels. But like you said, he was not expecting both players to just be completely exposed like that. But it comes right down to a one-on-one, Vin. I mean, it was a 3v1 at one point.
Yeah. It's scary. And what a giveaway, right? Like, oh, man.
Oof. Yeah.
Cover going out.
But on the way, I mean, they put their investment through. They have two ultimates. They have the res. They have the Cosmic Divide available from Astra. So we'll see if maybe somebody wants to try something a little bit more adventurous where they want the res, but Koala Noob instead just give a full face to lead. He's only good for the one. Jabin able to use the TP, so able to get a lot of control of the site. But now it's a 2-on-3 situation, actually in favor for On the Way.
I mean, and that is such a frustrating way to lose your life there if you're Justin, right? Because you've been bamboozled. You have no idea what's going on, and you've just been taken out from behind, it feels. The res comes through from Giza, and that is just baited by Jabin and not even taken advantage of. I don't know what the plan was there, but unfortunately it wasn't successful. Still 2-on-2, but a tag is heavy on the Brock, and well, it's Jabin with a quad, and Naval getting in on the action to close this one out. As that's halftime, 8-4 the scoreline, and Recon 5 looked like they're very much in control of this one.
It looked a little bit shaky after, you know, the few rounds in the middle there after the 4-0, but they seem to get, you know, some pretty good control. And now they're going to be switching things over, so they're going to be on that defensive side. Where, I mean, in my opinion, this map I feel like it's kind of hard to say. Like, I feel like defense, I would still maybe the slightest favor. I'm probably wrong, Vin, but I feel like I play better when I'm on defense. Maybe it's just my low rank matchmaking games or my rank games.
I mean, you're not wrong at all. Actually, it is slightly defensive sided, especially here at the VCS. But you know, it's not particularly defensive sided. We're talking like 7-5 at best, and over the course of hundreds of games. So really, 8-4 is a solid scoreline.
Ooh, even better. I mean, Birdie able to win the duel. Phoenix on Phoenix, or not Phoenix on Phoenix, the Rays on Rays, sorry. But now the player advantage in favor here for Recon 5. They still have a spike position for On the Way, which allows them to still have their Astra available for the stars to get the XE come in. You can hear the Guiding Light being used. Now the smokes are going to be dispersed of, and they're going to be able to put themselves in the site. Koala Noob taking the first point of contact, able to land this frag, and now spike goes down with ease.
Retake, still doable though. Really, I mean, there's 4 alive here for the defense, and On the Way are looking to do the defending this time, though they're on the attack. As the push comes in, Rap the first to take stock. That camera at least gives some information. Not very much, though. There's 2 players committed, and neither of them going down. It's Evil, though, on the retake, though. A double kill, and Jabin continues to do just that. It's Evil with a triple to make this look, honestly, quite simple when you get down to it. This retake is really, really good. Everybody playing together, just swinging, double swinging everything. And Recon 5, they win the pistol, man. It's 9-4. This is scary because double digits and then, you know, match point, they happen like that.
They do. And I mean, the one thing even to note too is that, I mean, Evil now 4 out of 7 for the ultimate. I mean, that's after first round. You're so close to getting your ultimate. I mean, really, they can get that orb control. He picks up maybe 1 or 2 more frags. And I mean, he's got his Hunter's Fury ready to go in the arsenal. So this is very scary against On the Way.
Well, and on top of that, right? Like, that's, you know, an easy way to potentially find an opening pick on what? Like a first gun round? Something very impactful over the course of this series?
A lot of big things that can happen, especially with the Hunter's Fury. Like you said, create the space, opening pick, they use it on a save. I mean, there's so many things they can have in the tool shed, but we'll have to see now. I mean, On the Way, a bit of a tough situation for them to be in, but it looks like a bit of a default setup. Nothing really, you know, where they're doing a full commit to anything. Trying to just see if they can pick up, you know, that first entry, maybe get a little bit of control of something, pick up a weapon. But at this point, Recon 5, they're not really given a lot of space. I mean, they are given the space, but I mean, really, they're prepared for it.
I mean, they're just playing very passive there in this angle. They're not wanting to give too much away, and then they'll get aggressive when they need to. For example, over at Long, like we just saw, Rap finding a kill, making things look quite easy. The one player still over at the Showers position, probably going to be dying here shortly as well, but the ultimate push is here at B, and that meets Verdi, and Verdi has been met with a double, making a triple kill.
No.
Bang tries for more, but only gets 1 before getting dispatched, and Justin on the other side, like I said, it was simply a matter of time. So double digits now. Recon 5, you know, I said I really didn't know how this was going to go, but I didn't really have a thought that it would be, you know, this dominant, at least not initially.
Yeah, it's a bit of a toss on the coin because, I mean, we were kind of putting a lot here on the way. I mean, we were talking about Qualanu, we're talking about Brock, we're talking a lot about these players and a lot of good firepower. And Giza's been pulling up some big numbers. But I mean, Recon 5, they seem like they just have kind of the right read. They're just a chapter ahead on a lot of decision makings that is happening from On the Way. And even now, look at this Verdi trying to get more aggressive. He actually does a significant amount of damage, but the regrowth should come through, which will heal now. So now, I mean, Recon 5, they have to put this aggression back on once again. They have to win these exchanges. They do. And J-Ben able to find the one, but that's all he's going to be good for. Now the Spike going to advance itself into this site. It goes down. It's a retake situation once more. 3 players, no ultimates, but they got Sky. They got some guiding lights to use here, Ben.
They do indeed. How will they be utilized? The positioning is solid. Very solid here for the attackers. Slow, methodical, the push in, and Giza continuing to just stall off this choke point. Having both of those slow orbs there early, or rather late in the round, is so huge. The guiding light good, but it's a nice dodge from Giza, and it's a double. In fact, even more, Justin comes around the corner, swinging and spraying, and, well, Evil is praying to come back quickly from that one because it's a beautiful round coming through from On the Way, and a tone setter, if you will.
How bad do you have to feel when you're stuck in the corner of lamps and you just see the guiding light coming right at you? You got to turn away, and then players are just right there afterwards. I mean, he was completely stuck in the mud. No options at all. I mean, that's just a terrifying thing. Just watching like a train wreck. But either way, On the Way, they pull up a round. 5 away from tying things back up. A full gun round for both squads now. Only 1 ultimate available on Recon 5 with the Showstopper. Haven't seen anything yet with that Hunter's Fury, not available to them yet.
Careful now.
Another great usage there of the gravity well, I think. So both of those players get caught. Oh no, Rap. Oh no, Rap. Getting caught out, and Jabin the same. What a great way to open a round, though. I say that. Evil, Verdi, both finding kills there on the flank. T-Dog now, actually, they're unaware. They don't know, but T-Dog's only got one. That's a problem. Because now the rotation comes in. Bang does have the showstopper. That paint shell is going to net some space and tons of damage done there to Evil. They're not, no way Evil's ready for this one.
No.
Nah.
I can't believe he didn't even go for checking it at all. I mean, he didn't look like he wanted to look. You could just see his player model was just focusing more on the right and the straight ahead angle. But, I mean, if he would have been able to pick up that frag, again, that's making those one-in-one exchanges. That's where things get really interesting. But instead now, things are getting more interesting as on the way. 2 in a row, putting Recon 5 in the save. We were kind of putting, Recon 5 to really put themselves at an 11th point. But instead, on the way, they're kind of hitting some balls here.
Yeah, and listen, I really want to see Koala Noob step up here. Has not had an operator very often, and I'd say as a player, that's his biggest weakness. Whenever there's not an operator on the field, it's very difficult for him to get the same sort of value. But you know what? It's okay, especially if you're getting those out. Now, as you open up this round, it is just a save round for Recon 5. You can start to build that economy and maybe, just maybe, turn that around. Yep. Seeing, or rather hearing all the teleporters gets baited straight into Justin. What a great play there. And pretty much just solidifies the round. Not that it was in question before.
Yeah, it is a bit of a thrifty round from Recon 5, but like you said, the fact that they just kind of went for the mouse and the mouse trap, I mean, that was easy picking for Justin, picking up now that double. I mean, they have 4 ults, Vin. They have 4 ultimates ready for on the way. So again, they have so much that they can dispose of it anytime. Yeah, he needs 1 to get it, and then they got a full stack of ultimates, and they can go, yeah, let's use it here, yeah, let's use it there, whatever. It doesn't matter. But I mean, now Evil, this is just survival mode at this point.
I think he's given up. He's like, yeah, screw it, whatever, dude.
I'll just go for it. I'm just gonna try. I'm gonna hope for 1 shot here. What can I do?
Oh, but a flawless victory there. 7-10. The comeback is definitely real, and it's coming in hot and heavy. There's only 3 rounds between these two at this point. The defense of Recon 5 is left, much to be desired, I would say. They got those opening 2 rounds, but after that, it's kind of been on the way all the time.
Yeah, and we talk about momentum as well. I mean, 3 rounds in a row, you're definitely starting to feel it. That confidence really builds. And we were talking about ultimates being available. That's a good indication of it as well. And now, actually, it is going to be the Seekers get used. That's going to be one of the first ultimates, and now even Cosmic Divide as well. But T-Dog actually comes in from the back lines. And Birdie going to be able to use a Showstopper with 2! That's going to land very well, and already now on the way. They're just down to 2 players, and they're going to have to do something absolutely miraculous here against 4 opposing players of Recon 5.
Oh my goodness. What a round. That said, what an investment in addition. Hunter's Fury, Showstopper, and the Seekers all being utilized in this one for the defense. Koala Noob, nice find. This might not be over just yet. I mean, Koala Noob, like I said, can be a fragger and is a fragger. Now has that Blade Storm and is maybe looking to pop it out. J-Ben coming up behind, though. Timing is all what matters. That Nebula goes away, and now Jabin might find a timing. Koala Noob now ready, but Jabin's better. The plant goes down, but 4 HP for Justin is not ideal.
Able to get the spike down, so that's a good money bonus. But if Recon 5, they need to be a little bit coordinated in this. Like you said, Justin's very low. You can pretty much just breathe on the guy, and he's going to tip over. So they have to make something work. Guiding Light does make the connection, so they hear the cue for the blind, but oh no, he misses the chance, he misses the opportunity, and now everybody knows where he is. And Recon 5, they do respond back after a big momentum of on the way. 7-11 we go, and like you said, the ultimates that were available for on the way, I mean, there is still 2, but we were talking about having 5. So, I mean, not what you want, but again, you have your res, you have your Blade Storm. It's not the worst thing to have.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the Cosmic Divide, the Showstopper, and the Seekers all come out for the attackers, too. So, you know what I mean? Like, it was heavy investments across the board essentially, and I think that when you get down to it, this is at a point where you can't afford mistakes like that if you are on the way. You've given 11. If one more mistake, that's match point.
That's all it needs. It relieves a little bit of stress, but adds some more for Recon 5 in addition. Nerves are definitely coming into flourishing here. Koala Noob now going to put the operator back in hand. We haven't seen Koala but as much on the board with the operator as much as we like to see, but T-Dog goes for the one, able to get almost the second. The guiding light, it lands out very well. Rep able to find another frag, so on the way, they've already down to 3 players, and we're still at a minute in this round left. Koala going to now activate the Blade Storm instead. Ready for a close quarter combat if he needs. But now somebody on the way, they have to find an opening. And Recon 5, they're just not allowing for it.
Yeah, and in a 5-on-3 as well, those openings become so much harder to find in addition. So we'll have to see. It's going to have to be some sort of crazy play, though we've seen that before from this on the way side. Nice swing there from Justin, and the dodge on the stutter step allows for him to find that kill onto T-Dog. The push is in. The timing, though, it's all about the timing. Wrap around the corner. Wrap finds Justin. The Koala Noob trades. Z-Vol was gone to Koala Noob, and it's now all on to Brock, who's tried and failed before and does the same now. As Verdi takes the kill, it is match point.
No spike going to get planted, but on the way, they still have lots of money that they can put into this. So now it's kind of the comeback story. They're going to have to pull up quite a few rounds to make it to a tie game to push overtime. But now Recon 5, we were talking about that. A little bit of stress relief. You're at the match point, but now you have to make sure that you can get over the line. So they only need one to take this BO1 home, whereas on the way, they still have a little bit of a long road, but we'll have to see who handles this pressure. One ultimate still available. Giza does have the res, but I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. Do you want to be aggressive and kind of go for a dicey play? Probably not at this point, Vin.
I mean, though, what else do you have to lose? Like, Verdi goes for that play and wins it this time, and Jabin's picked up an operator out of nowhere. Finds a kill as well. So Koala Noob, one of the last remaining members, is joined by Justin, but quickly he's removed. And Verdi with another 2 makes it a quad. Justin finally, freshly from the grave, returns the favor back onto one more, but it's still versus 3.
Oh, and the fact that Rep is so close. Look at this. He's completely pinched. He's stuck in this.
They know.
They know. Like, he's stuck. They already know where he is. The jig is up, and Rep is able to put the nail to the coffin. 13-7, Recon 5 advance themselves with a nice victory on the way. Not able to prevail, but nonetheless, a good game on Bind.
Indeed it is. Round 16, done and dusted there for those two, at the very least. I mean, listen, man, I really was expecting a bit more from that on the way side. I thought that they had honestly a possibility of bringing something a little bit better in, but they weren't able to connect it. And on top of that, I think that Recon 5, they came to play. They showed it off, and Verdi, what a great final couple of rounds that they had right there. Ultimately going to be the MVP of that matchup. 18-17, isn't knocking the socks off anyone, KD wise, but had so much impact when you watch the game in real time.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So, I mean, when we talk about impact frags, I mean, this is the definition of it. I mean, 18-17, not the highest statistics, but a lot of the impact was just so much greater with having that average combat score of 285. Just getting a lot of space, getting a lot of the first bloods. You can see there was 4 on the account. That's the highest on the squad. So really, putting that duelist role to just the fullest amount that they need to, that's exactly a well-deserved MVP.
Indeed it is. Yeah, very, very well deserved is what I would say. And with that, I mean, I thought that on the way they did look decent at times. The problem was that they never really tried anything at all on their defensive side. It felt like they had some interesting setups. They had a couple of attempts, but ultimately it was falling a bit flat.
Yeah, I definitely agree. We didn't really see a lot of like creativity or anything like that from the squad. And I think, if I know my teams a little bit correctly, I mean, I think the squad is kind of experimenting with its roster. So that's
Yeah.
that's where it gets really tough to, kind of really have a good foundation of strats and things like that. Whereas, we talk about Recon 5, these guys I think have now been playing together for a little bit longer. So they're definitely a little
Yeah.
bit more of a well-oiled machine in versus of on the way at this point. So
Yeah. No, definitely the case. But unfortunately, that does mean on the way fall out of this bracket. Recon 5, though, they're on. They move on to, what is it, top eight?
top eight.
Quarterfinals.
Woohoo.
Nicely done to them. That said, it is going to take us a little bit of time to prep that quarterfinal matchup. So, go get your popcorn, maybe a bit of food, a bit of water,
Red
whatever your
Bull.
drink of choice is here
Red
on this
Bull.
Sunday evening, and we'll be back here in just a little bit of time. As love that, lads. We'll be back here in just a little bit. Don't go anywhere.